Ian, we're kind of just days away really now from the start of the 2022 season. I can only imagine you're itching to get going at this point.
Yeah, we're excited now. We've kind of got through all our pre-season games, and the pre-season training is kind of coming to an end now, and this is what the boys train for and what they look forward to is playing competitive matches. And I think we've got a real exciting start as well with going to play Toulouse in their first ever Super League game.
And you were probably a bit frustrated with how 2021 went. It was obviously a disrupted year for everyone, but I guess you've had plenty of time over the last few months to really have a look at it and see where you can right for your wrongs.
Yeah, obviously the start of the year was kind of really disruptive a little bit, and probably not what we wanted as a group, and not what I wanted as we went in there. But obviously I'd gone there for a reason, because there was an issue within the club, else probably I wouldn't have been going there. And I thought halfway through the year, I thought you started to see more of a Huddersfield team and more of the younger players kind of coming through and developing. And what we want to do is we want to build the team and build a little bit of a legacy there. We just need to get the right players in and around them to do that. And I feel we've got that this year in bringing Tio, Tui, Chris Earl in. So and a few more names in there as well, which has given us some real strong competition for places.
You've mentioned Tui Lolahea and Tio Farge. You obviously kind of form that nucleus of your spine in the halves. A player you know pretty well in Tui, of course, from Salford, and Tio, a well-established Super League halfback. You must be really satisfied with those two running the things.
Yeah, mate, the big thing about them is they are champions and the competitors. They want to win, and it matters to them about playing a game and losing as well. And you see it after a game when you go in the sheds and if they've lost, and the disappointment that's in the faces. They want to win and they want to do really well and they want to achieve big things. And like I say, that's what we want Huddersfield to do. We want Huddersfield to be a consistent top 4 team that are competing for trophies. The way we do that is getting the right people in to develop them good young players that are at Huddersfield and get the right players at the top end that know how to handle them big occasions.
You've given Will Price a number 1 jersey, obviously probably quite a big hint of where you see him playing, but also perhaps a bit of a statement of intent that you think he's ready to really establish himself and build on what was a fantastic start.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely ready. What we've just got to be careful of is we've got a duty of care towards Will to make sure we develop him at the right rate. What we don't want to do is throw him out there every single game and he's clinging on for dear life, when what we've got to be is we've got to be smart, keep him fresh, keep him coming in and keep him learning. The good thing with Will is he's real grounded and he's always willing to learn as well, and I presume he'll have another good season this year.
Your success with your Salford teams often came around those spines and those pivot positions. Is it kind of that same blueprint this year?
Yeah, your spine's got to be consistent and got to be playing week in, week out. When you're having your spine injured and in and out, which we had a lot of last year, to be fair, at Huddersfield, you don't win anything on the back of that. If you look at, but you talk about Salford and you look at the years that we was at Salford and the amount of times that we had injuries in the halves or we had an inconsistent spine, that's when we didn't do so well. But when we had the consistency in the spine, that's when we did well. And you look all the way through the league, so you look at Catalan had a real consistent spine all the way through the year last year, and they did real well on the back end of it. St Helens have had a real consistent spine for years, and they've done they've repeated 3 times where they've gone back-to-back grand finals and won them as well. Obviously that will change this year for them, but like I say, we're hoping to build something like that.
Chris Hill, another new signing, a very well-established Super League middle, brings a wealth of experience with him.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. The level of experience that he'll bring with him to really bring our young players on. If you look at our squad in terms of the young middles that we've got, Oliver Wilson, Owen Trout, Matty English, Sam Hewitt, we've got plenty of young talent in there, and there's some more behind them as well. What we need to do is get the right guys to show them what it's all about, to how you be a pro, to how you get to the big games. And Hill has been exceptional since he's come in, and the one big thing about him is he leads by example with his performances.
Toulouse first up, that's going to be a pretty special occasion. Their first home Super League game ever, and Huddersfield part of it. It must be something you're looking forward to just to be involved in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a huge occasion. I'm really looking forward to going over there and seeing what it's all about. But what we've got to do is probably not get carried away with the occasion, make sure we go there and get the job done. Because I remember when Paris Saint-Germain, they first came into Super League and they beat Sheffield in the first game live on Sky as well. So what we don't want is history repeating itself from there, but it's going to be a special occasion.
I'm not going to go into the kind of details of the whole vaccine situation, but with the uncertainty around Toulouse and some of their key players, there's question marks. Does that almost make it harder to prepare for you in terms of you don't quite know what you're going to be up against?
Yeah, I think the big one for us is we've just got to focus on ourselves on this one. Like I said, they've had a little bit of a change. There's obviously John O'Ford's left there, who's a big player for them there, and obviously they're trying to replace him now to go forward. What we can't do is, like I say, get caught up in everything else that's going on, like the special occasion with it being Toulouse's first ever Super League game, players who may or may not be there. We've just got to focus on our job and make sure that we start the season well.
We can only assume that they're not going to change much. They're going to throw the ball around, they're going to be inventive, they're going to play off the cuff. I guess when you've spent the whole pre-season probably working on defensive structures and systems, is that perhaps a potential banana skin first game up?
Oh no, that's probably we've built our pre-season and around coming into the season. So the Dewsbury one was just like a tick in a real physical list. We played Batley, we knew they had some offloaders. To be fair, them offloaders didn't actually play in the game, like James Brown and people who we thought would test us on that. But then playing Hull KR away, who were a similar mentality, like to use the ball, like to play on the back of second phase offloads. We've had that little hit out against them as well, so we know what we need to be fixed up for being ready for the start of the season against Toulouse.
A quick scan down the ins and outs will tell you that pretty much every club has made some really good acquisitions and in key positions as well. You must be preparing for perhaps the most competitive, even instalment of Betfred Super League for a long time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the best one. I think it's going to be the most competitive season you're going to get, just from what you've mentioned there about the quality of players coming in. I think the quality stepped up again on last year, all through the teams. So it's going to be a really interesting season. The big thing for us is to get off to a good start.
And just lastly, a fantastic opportunity for the sport, adding to Sky Sports' stellar work. We've got Channel 4 coming in as a free-to-air broadcaster. There must be real potential for the sport to grow and take it to a new market here.
Yeah, I think that's an outstanding acquisition by the RFL and them and Super League by allowing the Channel 4 to come in and kind of air games free of charge, really, because I think that'll build the sport and the product will get out there, and more people will probably see that who don't normally see it on Sky. So I think it's a great step forward for us as a game.
Well, best of luck, mate. Enjoy it.
Cheers, thanks, Lewis, mate. Cheers, mate.